Hi, this is Dana Gardner, Principal Analyst at Inter Arbor Solutions, and you're listening to BriefingsDirect. Our next business innovation for procurement case study examines how UPS is modernizing and streamlining its procure-to-pay processes. We'll now hear how UPS, across billions of dollars of supplier spend per year, automates supply chain management and leverages new technologies to provide greater insight into procurement networks. Here to tell us how procurement has become strategic for UPS, we're now joined by Jamie Dawson, Vice President of UPS's Global Business Services Procurement Strategy in Atlanta. Welcome, Jamie.
Thank you, Dana.
Tell me a little bit about some of the major trends that you're seeing in procurement, and how are you changing your strategy to adjust?
We're seeing a lot of evolution in the marketplace in terms of both technology and new opportunities in ways to procure goods. And that really is true around the globe. And we're adjusting our strategy and really also challenging some of the business partners to come along with us.
And tell me a little bit about the size of your organization. How much goods and services are we talking about in your business services procurement?
Well, we're a $60 billion company. Last year, our total expenses were somewhere in the $50 billion range. So lots of goods and services flowing around the globe.
And so any way that you can find new efficiency, new spend management benefits, that turns into some significant savings.
Absolutely.
All right. Tell us a little bit about, now that you're looking for new strategies and new solutions, what is it in procurement that's of most interest to you? And how are you using technology in ways perhaps you didn't before?
One of the new ways is a combination of partnerships, both with third parties as well as our own internal business partners. So we are collaborating with other functions, and procurement is not something we're doing to them. We're working with them to understand what their needs are, working with their suppliers as well.
And we're hearing some very interesting things these days about using machine learning and artificial intelligence, combining that with human agents who are specialized. Sounds like in some ways external procurement services can do the job better than anyone. Is that something that you're open to? Is procurement as a service something you're looking at?
I think procurement as a service has a certain niche play. There will always be your basic buy and sell items, even as individuals, right? There are some things you don't research. You just go out and buy. There are other things you do a lot of research and you look into different solutions, and it might, there are different things that will cause you to research more. Maybe it's a competitive advantage. Maybe you're looking for an opportunity in a new space or a new corner of the globe. So you will do a lot more research, and your solutions need to be scalable. They can be scalable in nature. So if you create it and start it in Europe, maybe you also want to use it in Asia. You start in the US, maybe you want to use elsewhere.
So it sure sounds like we're in a period of experimentation, that where the boundary was between things that you would buy by rote versus things you would buy with a lot of expertise or research is shifting or changing. Are you experimenting as an organization? And what is interesting to you as you look at new opportunities from those people who are in the procurement network space?
Yeah, I think there will always be complex areas that require solution orientation more than just price, but a deep understanding of industry and knowledge and partnership. But there are a lot of other areas where the opportunities are expanding every day.
Okay, as you think about what you've done and been able to accomplish, do you have any advice for other organizations that are starting to also think about modernizing, strategizing, rather than just doing it the traditional old way? What would you tell them?
Two things. One would be to, first of all, within the procurement organization, be open to new ideas. And secondly, get the entire rest of the organization behind you, because you're going to need their support.
Seems that procurement as a function is just far more strategic than it used to be. Not only are you able to get more goods and services, but really save significant amount of money. Do you feel that your profile as an organization, procurement within UPS is rising or expanding in terms of the role you play in the larger organization?
I certainly am aware that the knowledge of the capabilities and the demonstrated successes are now being recognized throughout the organization. And I think it becomes self-feeding. You actually get on a roll and can further expand the capabilities once that knowledge is out there. You don't have to sell.
Okay. Last question, looking to the future, sort of a vision level, what's really exciting to you? What are you thinking that might be more important to you in how you do business 2 or 3 years from now?
In terms of suppliers?
Could be technology, suppliers, ecosystems, cloud-enabled intelligence, that sort of thing.
It's a very interesting question because it's almost the same answer is your greatest fear as well as it's the greatest benefit. And I listened to what we just heard on this Go tool, and as crazy, as exciting as that is, you heard all the questions in the room about how do I adapt that to what I already have today, because the world still exists as it exists today. So there's this huge transition period where we're bolting on these fantastic, great ideas to our existing infrastructure. So that transition into what's new and really embracing it is the most exciting of all.
Disruption can be good. Disruption can be bad.
It'll be a challenge, a journey, right?
Yeah. Well, thanks so much. We've been joined by Jamie Dawson. She's Vice President of UPS Global Business Services Procurement Strategy in Atlanta. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And a big thank you as well to our audience for joining this Tradeshift-sponsored BriefingsDirect Business Innovation for Procurement case study on how UPS is modernizing and streamlining its procure-to-pay processes. We've heard how technology innovations and new services from such cloud suppliers as Tradeshift translate into business impacts, and how consumers and suppliers of services and goods can best prepare to improve their procurement and supply chain activities. I'm Dana Gardner, Principal Analyst at Inter Arbor Solutions, your host and moderator. Thanks again for listening, and do come back next time.